Good morning, everybody. Rev here this morning. It is Tuesday, the 11th of October. Hope you're safe and well and blessed and being a witness for Christ today. Continuing on, we're just about through with Dog Walk Talk by my friend Joe Miller. While I'm walking, God is talking. Excuse me, you can find it online, and several of you have, and I hope some others of you will do that as well. This one today is actually called, and this is Joe's words, Life Sometimes Sucks. And I want to read to you just one verse. Joe didn't pick a verse for this one, so I'm going to pick it for him. This comes from James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3. Actually, 2, 3, and 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters. I added that part. Whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. And perseverance must finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. This is the word of the Lord. May it bless, convict, encourage, enlighten, and empower its hearers this morning. This one starts with a quote from Paulo Coelho. And I quote, "When you find your path, you must not be afraid. You need to have sufficient courage to make mistakes. Disappointment, defeat, and despair are the tools God uses to show us the way." End of quote. Joe writes, life. Sometimes it just sucks. Disappointment, one of our most disturbing emotions. It dances in our heads like a fine ballet. It lounges around casually but prominently in the front of our minds while feeling the ghost that won't go away in the back of our minds. And it tends to paint our inner thoughts a dreadful shade of gray. We experience disappointments because we feel that someone or something, or perhaps we ourselves, has let us down. And in those times of disappointment, we'll sometimes hear supposed wise words of wisdom. Now, suck it up, baby. Time to put those big boy pants on, those kinds of things. Even if we don't hear the actual words, we get the impression that those verbal gems are what someone wants to say to us. Maybe we hear the voices in our own heads speak those words, but we seldom listen. And if we do listen, that doesn't stop us. It doesn't stop the disappointment dance. So, what will? Joe suggests this. He says, I suggest 4 disappointment dance stoppers. And it is an acronym for the word SLAP. For the S, shift from why me to what's next. Whenever something goes haywire or sideways in our life, the natural response is quite often, why me? And it is all too easy to think like the victim, that we want to be at the time. And that, of course, helps us to feel incompetent about dealing with the situation. But when we start to go down that road, that mental pathway, if you will, we need to replace it with what's next. And this puts us in the driver's seat and helps us sort out what we need to do next. Next is the L, learn from the experience. If open to learning, we may just discover that the situation which produced the disappointment is not really as it seemed, and the disappointment is just a molehill rather than the mountain that we envisioned it to be. When we're thinking that no good can come from the situation, ask some questions. What am I misreading about the situation? How can I approach a reaction of disappointment differently in the future? In other words, we need to focus on what we can learn from the situation. And then the A, accept imperfection. Accept imperfection. Disappointments almost always revolve around people, yes, as humans, in some manner. None of us are perfect. And none of us are humanly able to get it right all of the time. Our best option is to go gently with the flow and look for ways to improve rather than to perfect. By accepting that there can be imperfections, we open the door to explore improvement possibilities without the added stress of frustration and disappointment. And then the P, practice gratitude. It almost seems laughable to feel gratitude amid one of those life really sucks moments. Hence the word practice. We usually tend to reserve gratitude for those more reflective moments in our lives. However, in whatever situation caused the disappointment, we need to look for the silver lining. It may be just a tiny one, but there will be one. And be grateful for that. Maybe even out loud. If we practice gratitude each time the disappointment dance begins, it just might become a habit. And we just might find ourselves doing the happy dance instead. I'm Pastor Mark. I love you guys. Be safe, be well, be blessed, be strong. Practice the slap. The shift from why me to what's next. Learn from the experience, accept information, practice gratitude, and go do something for Jesus. I'll see you tomorrow.